As the local MP, you've described a situation where people are just angry about this, trying to go about their normal business and just faced with crime attacking them from every side. How do you feel as the MP that this is happening in your area and constituency?
Well, the overwhelming majority of people on this estate, hard-working, decent people, going out to work, doing a good job, bringing up their family, and they shouldn't have to live with this. And there are some simple, straightforward things that need to be done for them straight away, and that is more police, sorting out the trees, CCTV, making sure that crime's not planned on the internet. And those things, they're entitled to that, local people are, and that's what I'm speaking up for them for now.
Are all of those things an emergency now?
They were urgent. I would say they're now an emergency. If it's not an emergency, when you've had 2 people killed within the space of 3 months on one particular street, I don't know what is.
How do you get people to actually trust the police? Because people are also saying that this is happening there, but they wouldn't necessarily imagine their 20-year-old son, who is around gang age, would want to go to speak to the police or anyone else about this.
Well, there is undoubtedly a lot of mistrust of the police, and the police have to work on that. But there are also basic things that need to be done, like, for example, searching to make sure that people don't be able to carry drugs, people aren't able to carry weapons, and the community is very clear about that, that is necessary. You can't have crime being planned on the internet and then carried out locally without the police being able to disrupt it, and searching powers are part of that, but also a bigger police presence. And the truth is that if the police are around and they're able to engage with the local community, get to know people, that of itself builds trust. And people have said that in the past, if some young lad was getting up to no good, the police officer would bring him back to his mum in the flat and say, you've got to do what your mum says, otherwise you're going to end up in really bad trouble. And there used to be that relationship, but now there aren't enough police around to be doing that. So actually more police helps build trust. So 3 months ago we were here, and there was a great level of anxiety because a young man had been killed just on a road over there in what was feared to be gang-related crime. And 3 months later, that anxiety amongst local people has turned to anger, because there are often, obviously, very deep-seated problems, but there are some immediate things that can and must be done. And tonight, one of the things that's been agreed is really important, because, you know, mums are saying they're afraid to go to work and leave their kids in the way that they might normally, to just play out. They want to bring them to the community centre. They want them to have proper youth services to keep them safe. And the council is going to put, right from today, an injection of extra cash in so that those anxious parents can go to work without tearing their hair out with worry about what is happening to their kids. We need extra CCTV on that side of the estate. There's not one single CCTV camera. And what you've got is a busy main road, but behind there you've got overhanging trees, making it a very secluded area. Now, in some ways that's very nice, but when it's being used for criminal plans, gangs to get on with their activity, those trees, the community are saying they want some of their branches lopped off and CCTV put up to enable people to feel safe, especially around the low-rise elderly blocks. The other thing that we've been talking about with the Mayor's office and the police is the issue of these videos and this music being used for planning and organising crime, both to incite the other gang, to actually wind them up, to incite crime, but also to plan crime amongst themselves with code words and using it actually as planning crime. And I think we're used to the idea now that we don't think that it's okay to say it's the freedom of the internet for child pornography. We say that those social media platforms have got to take that material down because it's being used for perpetrating a crime. But that is what's happening now with gangs, using the freedom of the internet to plan their crimes, and then they use the freedom of the actual back ways of the estates here to carry them out, and drug-related crimes. So I think we've got to have some branches lopped off the trees. We've got to have the immediate injection of cash into the youth services. We've got to have CCTV, but we've also got to have more police in the area to disrupt the activity that's being organised on the internet. And the local residents here are saying in there, just as they said 3 months ago, There aren't enough police. There aren't as many police as there used to be, and that just means it's a safe haven